There's millions of people out there with that nagging voice, that inner critic that's whispering into their ear, all those super unnice things. What if you could tame your inner critic? I want to share an art prompt with you that explores self-compassion by using expressive arts to bring awareness to our inner judgments, look at our narratives, and understand that they're not true. Research says that self-criticism actually stems from a fear of failure or perfectionism. Who would have thought, right? But when we use mindful art practices, we actually tap into those parts of our brain that are associated with emotional regulation, self-acceptance, and so much more. There's a very famous artist named Frida Kalho, hope I'm pronouncing that right. And in the early or mid 1920s, she had experienced a car crash and her world changed. But what she was most famous for was these portraits of her journey through the car crash. She had painted herself with a back brace, there was religious aspects, heartbreak, and she channeled her struggles into her art. And by tapping into the unconscious mind, we're able to create some safe space for ourselves in your own personal journey as inspiration to create from the heart. Thank you for making the time to join me. I'm using double-ended permanent markers and just a piece of paper. When we start, this is going to be the inner critic wheel. Let's take a look at her or him or they. And we make a circle. Feel free to grab a plate if you have time. And we're gonna divvy these out into some pie slices or pizza slices, however you like. And for each slice here, we're gonna talk about a piece of inner narrative. So the first one is share a time when the critic stopped me, okay? From doing what I love to do. And what did it say to you? What did it say? So mine would be, you know, she was pretty mean. She said, "You suck, why bother?" And that was what she used to say to me, and it was really sad, you know, to think about it. But those are some narratives that, you know, I used to say. So maybe a word or a phrase that stood out, right? And the next one is, what did it feel like when you are feeling the doubt, you know? What is it? What does it feel like? So I think for me, maybe this comes in a symbol or image. So I feel like I'd be really sad. And I'd feel brokenhearted, you know. You know, how does it feel like for you? And maybe on the other side, what does it feel like when you push through it? When you're able to create past that and you talk yourself out of it? When you push through it? What does it feel like? For me, it kind of feels like freedom. And I'm going to draw some symbols of it. What does it feel like for you? Mine feels like a cool breeze. And for me, there's no resistance. So as we move down, like, what are some things that are narratives, things that you've been saying to yourself? And what else has inspired you on the other side? Actually, I'm feeling into the inspiration. So inspiration. Who inspires me? If it feels free, flowing, right? And inspiration comes from people who have, for me, standing in my power, standing in the light. That's my inspiration. These are authors, actors, and actresses, and artists that are following their passion, their full-time purpose. And they're just doing it. They're just out there and they're doing it. So on the other side, if you have filled them out with narratives, that's all right as well. But you can also do opposites. So what's the opposite of you suck? Why bother? Is you're great. Fantastic. Fantastic. Why not? Like, always try, right? So that's the narrative. And my goal, to move into what it would feel like to have no judgment, right? This is, what does it feel like when you have judgment? So there's no judgment. Would feel like joy. I don't know how to draw joy, so I'm going to write the word joy, gratitude, love, freedom, creative life. I'm always mental wellness. What I love about this activity when I do them with clients or with myself is it starts bringing a little bit of distance between the stories. I hear a lot of, I don't need it, I don't need to succeed, it's too much work. And then we can start looking at why we feel this way. I think for myself, the you suck, why bother? I feel this way because people don't acknowledge. Maybe they don't see or hear or feel me. And that comes from my childhood, being small, right? And not being honored and noticed the same way. So I'm really craving that. And you're fantastic, why not? This is the new narrative that I want to adopt. So this is I'm calling in, I'm embodying this. Embody, you are fantastic, why not? Embody the opposite of it. And when we feel really sad and we fall into the narratives and it becomes heartbreaking, we can't feel the joy and the gratitude. So maybe if there's a symbol that inspires me, we can find peace. I don't know, maybe like the Om symbol. Oh, I think I've forgotten how to. Well, that's okay. If it's right, it's right. If it's not, it's not. Om symbol to find peace. And then for me, I think another narrative is I feel unworthy. So don't try. So that's another one. So what's the opposite of that? What is I feel unworthy? How do we debunk this one? How do we reframe this? So cut this slice in half here. Is I feel worthy. So do your best. And that's enough. I like that one. I feel worthy, so do your best. And that's enough. So, trusting your inner wisdom. That supersedes all that negativity. And I find that when I do these, little sayings come out, and maybe I do need to write them on a Post-it note and stick them somewhere. And to help remind me, I call them little truth bombs. And yeah, they're welcomed for sure. So is there anything else that you want to add? I'm going to leave this space empty for you to add whatever it is. But as we see this, we are building towards, something that shows us a reflection. You don't have to share this with anybody. You don't have to, it's like your diary. I think that's the most important part. And I don't share these with people. So I hope you found some truth bombs. So let me know if there's any truth bombs that came up for you during that journey. And always remember to be gentle with yourself. We're tapping into creative courage to connect with ourselves. And that's the most important part. That's what I'm passionate about. And today you've taken that time and you've given yourself sacred space to express in an authentic way. This is not about making good art or great art. It's about making powerful art. So however long that it takes you to create this masterpiece, and if you find inspiration to extend it into whatever your modality is, by all means, please do revisit this as many times as you need. Thanks for watching.